This is going to be awesome. I am so excited. I'm seeing everybody popping right into our webinar this morning. Welcome, welcome one and all. It feels like it's been a while. We used to do these weekly and now we're doing this monthly just to, make room for that thing called school. Whether it's virtual or in person, a blended environment, we are all back in school here in Arizona anyway, and I know many of you are coming from far and wide. In fact, this morning we were in Canada, virtually, of course, because I couldn't get to New Brunswick that early, but we were in Canada virtually this morning, and I tell you what, we've got people coming all around to talk about cybersecurity and really great topics in STEM. We're closing out our summer of STEM right now with an awesome webinar on cybersecurity. So excited to have all of you with us today, and even more excited to have our guest presenters here, our experts from the Cyber Center of Excellence here at Grand Canyon University, coming to you live from some virtual backgrounds. So really excited to have these individuals with us. In fact, I see that Dr. Monty just joined us in the guest area. So excited to have Dr. Monty, who is the Dean of Computer Science and IT here at Grand Canyon University. So welcome one, welcome all. Just so you know, this will be recorded. And if you miss it, or if you want to share it with others, it's at bit.ly/K12EdDev, and that is where you'll find our YouTube channel of all kinds of archived weekly webinars, which have turned into monthly webinars. And next month, we've changed our venue to 12 noon. So it'll be a lunch and learn webinar next month. All right, without further ado, let's talk about cybersecurity. We are Grand Canyon Professional Development. PD with Purpose is our tagline. And today I am joined by many guests. So you know who I am, and if you don't, well, check me out online. But Professor Chester Kendrick is here today. He is faculty here at Grand Canyon University in cybersecurity. And Dr. Kendrick, Professor Kendrick, I'm sorry about that. Please introduce yourself for us. And then if you wouldn't mind passing the baton to our other guest presenters, that would be great.
Hi, everybody. My name is Chester Kenrick. I'm a full-time faculty member here at Grand Canyon University, and I teach IT and cybersecurity. As you can see, I've got 20 years of experience in the field, and I'm not going to take up the full show. The real heroes here are Joe and Steven. So, Dr. Ferris, I'm going to pass it on to you.
Thank you, Professor Kendrick, and feel free to turn your video on whenever you are here. They got to know that you're here with us. I know that's a cybersecurity thing, probably. You don't want your video on, I get that. But thank you so much, Professor Kendrick. And Professor Dwight Ferris, are you with us today?
Yes, I am here.
Oh, fantastic. Go right ahead. Introduce yourself for us all.
Good morning, everyone. Yes, I'm also a full-time faculty member at Grand Canyon University in IT and cyber. I have 25 plus years of industry experience, engineering, IT, computer science. I've been teaching for 5+ years. I've presented at the NICE K12. I did present, matter of fact, Chester and I presented last year at the NICE K12 Conference, and I am a part of the Arizona Cybersecurity Committee. And I'm looking forward to helping you all understand how important cybersecurity is. So welcome.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ferris. So exciting. We'll move right along here, but a lot of K12ers are interested in cybersecurity. So thank you for telling us that you're going to make it a little bit more clear for all of us who are in the K12 arena. Joe Erbs.
Hi, good morning, everybody. My name is Joseph Erbyshevsky, but nobody can actually spell my last name, so we'll go with Joe Erbs. Longtime CTE teacher between Chicago, Southern Cal, and Arizona. My last school out here in Arizona was O'Connor. Doing everything from technology to digital media, to TV production, cybersecurity, and in the industry on the side for many, many years. And I look forward to giving you guys a lot of tools today.
Thank you so much, Joe. You guys, CTE teachers, I was one as well. So thank you, Joe. He knows what we go through, which is so cool, having someone at the university truly understand what it's like to be a career and technical education instructor, and really educating high school students in cybersecurity. So thanks for all of your talent, Joe. And without further ado, Steven Faulkner, former GCU student, and now works full-time for our Cyber Center of Excellence. Go ahead, Steven.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you're ready to have a good and informative session. My name is Stephen Faulkner, and I did just recently graduate from GCU. I came to GCU, excuse me, as a student that didn't know anything about cybersecurity, but everything that I have learned, I was able to secure a job with GCU. GCU is a phenomenal place to be. The teachers were phenomenal, and yeah, this is going to be fun. I've been in networking. I've networked for my church for roughly about 20 years or so. So I was just kind of doing networking, but not the cybersecurity side. And when GCU opened my eyes to this side, I tell you, they've been wide open since. Thank you.
So exciting to have Stephen. And if you didn't catch that, GCU is a great place to be, and they take the talent right into the organization. That's how much we believe in what we do. So thank you so much, Stephen. I am excited to get into this today. So as I'm going to give you your objectives, I am also going to launch a poll. And as I launch this poll, I'll leave it up for a while. There's several questions, but this is really a poll to help our cybersecurity professors at the university level understand what your needs are at the K-12 level. So I thought, what better way than to ask you all at the K-12 level, what are your needs via this poll? So feel free to take some time. I'll leave that up there for a while so that you can answer those questions. I know sometimes it's hard to answer questions while I'm talking, but I think a lot of them are pretty self-explanatory and don't take too much thought progression as we just talk about our goals and our objectives today. So in our hour today, folks, we are going to demystify, I'd like to say, cybersecurity. Cybersecurity for K-12 educators and students. And the question is, where do I start? Well, today you're going to learn at least 3 strategies that help users, any computer user, change habits and promote cyber awareness, a very important topic today. In addition to that, you'll know a little bit more about password management, phishing and smishing, and join only known networks. Don't worry, if you don't know what smishing and phishing are right now, you soon will. These guys, they're gonna let us know all of this. And exciting enough, when we're done with that, we'll evaluate the webinar, earn that PD certificate, and stick around for our closing prayer. So excited for a lot of things that you're gonna learn today. So I would love for everyone today to be our tool masters. What does that mean? I just want everyone to think about a tool that they are gonna use when you're finished, and I'm gonna call on one of you to add that in the chat when we're finished. So think about the question, what is at least one tool that you will take with you today? So be ready, tool masters. All of you are a proud tool master today, and we'll be asking that question at the very end. What is one tool that you thought was really powerful to use in your K-12 classroom as it relates to cybersecurity? And we also have, stick around guys, because there's a free surprise coming for you soon. All right, here we go. Let's get it started and set the intention for learning. Dr. Ferris, will you take us through?
Okay, I'm glad that you're all here, and I'm excited to be a part of this webinar. I want to start off with just a simple quote that I've put together since I've been teaching cybersecurity. And the quote goes as follows: as cybersecurity educators, we have to create a clear message of influence because security is a culture. Everyone needs to ensure that they are a part of that security culture to create higher levels of cyber protection, no matter where or what. So we want you to begin to change your habits, begin to understand that cybersecurity, this cybersecurity culture, is everyone's culture. So please pay attention. You're going to learn a lot, and we're going to move forward in helping you change your habits so you can convey that to your students as you go forward. Thank you.
That is fantastic. Thank you so much, Dr. Ferris. We need to remember these items. And I'm going to turn over the kind of action to Joe Herbs today. He's going to take us through our tech tool for interaction, and it's called, Have I Been Pwned? Joe, tell us about this.
Hi, if ever you would open up a browser, and please go to this website. I actually put it in the Zoom chat, so you can just click on it and go there. And as you do that, we're going to use this shortly, but I'd like you to bookmark this for future reference and future use. There's a lot to it, and I mean, there's a lot to it. And I'll explain a little bit as soon as everybody gets going. What I'd like to do now is type in, actually I was ask Corey or whoever's running it, type in the DRURBZ email address.
So you're done. The herbs. I like it.
At gmail.com.
Gmail.com. So walk me through this, Joe. I'm putting in an email address of yours.
Yes.
And then where do I click here?
Just click right there, yes.
All right, I'm
Let me
clicking
show everybody first with our example email address, and then I'll explain before you put yours in. So as you see here, this is called Pwned. Basically means the password with that email address has been breached. Over here, 14 breach sites and 8 pastes. I'll explain that briefly. Go ahead and please scroll down. Keep going. As you see here, it shows you different sites where your passwords have been breached based on your email address. And if you keep scrolling slowly, you will see reputable companies on there from Adobe.
Wow.
Adobe was used in the classroom some years ago. We got Dropbox. Keep going.
Holy
LinkedIn.
cow, LinkedIn.
These are sites we trust. These are business sites. These are areas. There's no gaming. There's no like secret anything here. This is all based on businesses. Nobody's immune from cybersecurity. So anyway, if you'd like to briefly try an old, or if you want to try your email address, just once real quick, because we have a lot to cover today.
Oh, I'm going to try mine. Truth be
Feel
told.
free, everybody, and let us know in the chat box, green or red. Real simple. Green or red.
There you go. Now you have my husband's email address. Oh my gosh.
Oh, he's red. Okay, so 10
He's
breach.
the red one. That doesn't surprise me, Joe. My husband's not as tech savvy as I might be.
Yeah, but keep going. Let's scroll. Let's see where he's been.
Okay.
Adobe, some of the same sites, business sites. I was my email address.
What's
Also,
Apollo?
Yeah, Cafe Press, Evite, stuff like this.
But Evite, so many people use Evite, Joe.
Absolutely. So all these sites have been breached, whether they reported it or not, which is a whole different issue. My point is it's a great tool to have. This is a legit tool. There are other sites that try to copy this tool, badness, all sorts of stuff out there. This one is legit completely. The guy name is Troy Hunt who runs it. I'll be very brief. He works for Microsoft. I think he's a VP, has podcasts, all sorts of stuff. And so I will show you more coming up, but just bookmark this site. There's a lot more to it. So
Only two
I didn't
for
use the
my
word
Gmail.
hacked here. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Corey. I didn't hear you.
No, only 2 for my Gmail. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So this is about breaching passwords. This isn't about cracking and getting in and copying right away. It's just telling you that your passwords on these types of email addresses are breached. So how secure do you think your digital presence is? Well, now we have a starting point and a tool to start with. So next slide, please. Everything in cybersecurity is based on relationships, technical as well as people, our actions, learning, everything about it. And go ahead, next slide, please. And as you will see here, this is just a sample map somebody designed out there on LinkedIn. It keeps getting updated. But as you see, these are different areas of cybersecurity all over the place. High-end, user education is where we're circled today, training, new skills, and awareness. Those are the ones we're focused on today. But cyber is very, very deep, and it keeps evolving and changing. So far, so good. So has anybody out there has seen these types of things in their emails or their phones or devices? Everything from emails asking for your information or your PayPal account or Facebook and all that stuff. And as well as on your phones, especially during election year, on top of it.
You're getting a lot in the chat here. Everybody, there's a lot in the chat.
I'm reading it. I got it. That's awesome.
We've been here, right, Joe? I have too.
But there's words for these we use in cybersecurity a lot of people are unaware of. And phishing is one of them with the PH. That's an actual term. And smishing is for texting. Vishing is for voice, which now with the election year on top of it, it's gone crazy. Phishing is the #1 and easiest way to get personal information, or called PII, personal identifiable information. So these are the stuff we want to talk about in terms of awareness, being vigilant on what you click on, what's urgent. They push. Yeah, I know. Smishing is a big one. That was, as opposed to calling it tishing, it doesn't work. So they went with smishing. And you know why? Simple message ishing.
That is funny. That is great.
So anyway, that's where we go. So
you have something about smishing in here. This right
the
here.
SMS as well. Yes, the SMS. Absolutely. So excellent. Great article. And if you want to post that one, because I don't have that one.
Okay, so this is something that you gave me, Joe. So apparently these
It's
guys
okay.
know what they're doing. So we'll just go ahead and make sure you can
But
read that in
yesterday,
your own time.
very much, yes. In yesterday's news, in the tech news, all over the place, phishing is becoming number 2, only to phishing and now major attacks for cyber information. So,
My goodness. All right.
all right, so here we go. The domino effect. Why is this important? Because if we give you some best practices and you're already practicing some best practices, the fact is the domino effect, you give those to your family, the people you work with, the students you have. And that's what's important here because they're going to follow you. If you do it every single day and you remind them, no, don't do that. Don't save that in Google Chrome. Don't do that. Little things like this, even on the basic parts, you're already setting foundations for us to help them, no matter what age they are, to come in and give them even more versus everything from scratch. So the more we can do better out there, the better it is for us in our society. So 3 columns here. And we're going to focus today on some password management, but I did want to point out the phishing and smishing. Do not be lured to click on links. If it's a bank or something like that, call your bank or go to the bank's website directly. Don't click on the link. That way you'll know. Amazon's the big one, right? Everybody gets those fake Amazons. Be vigilant on who is sending emails or text or voicemails. Now, I got a 3rd column here. This is for you. We're going to give you a link right now. Actually, I will do that right now. Give me a quick second. Where are you? I have it. I promise I have it.
Is it this one up here? No,
The
this is
LifeWire. Yeah, the LifeWire one. I have it.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go. I gave you a 3rd one here in the text box to save for later, but how to prevent Wi-Fi from connecting automatically, especially to open networks. And today's computers, whether you're in Windows, Mac OS, or iOS, if you like those devices, and Android, share. So if you're on one network on an iPhone, let's say, and you come home, all that information gets transferred to your computer if you have a Mac. If you're on the same iCloud account, things like that. So you have to be more aware. So this one article for later, for yourself, is a great way, whether you're doing Android, iOS, and everything, to help you start realizing to start cleaning up some of those areas. And that's a big one. So something to play with. So what I like to do is focus on the password management. Next slide, please. If you look over here closely, I've outlined the boxes of 6 and 7 of number of characters in your businesses, in your school districts. You've been trained over the last number of years, 5, 6, 7, 10 years. Make sure at least you're doing 6 or 7 characters, right? And look how fast it is to crack those. Even with numbers at the right side column, numbers, upper and lowercase letters and symbols still takes less than a day to crack. Using open source tools, things that are found on the web for free. So this stuff does matter. We want you in the green, at least the yellow, but the green. So keep this in mind. Now, I know we're going to start talking about math and saying who remembers 15 character letters, and that's where we have some answers today. Okay, so here we go.
This is already getting a little scary, Joe.
It is a little scary, but I want to tell you something. Does everybody know, before we go back one
Sorry.
point? It's okay. I'll be fast. What is the #1 breached password in the world? Anybody want to take a guess in the chat box for us?
Oh, put it in the chat. What do you guys think? What do you think? Oh, Deborah's got some number. Oh, the word password. I like it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Password.
Love the answers. #1 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and #2 is password. And those are running 4 years in a row in the world. And we're going to revisit this. So there's a reason I was asking right now. So keep that in mind. Winner, but we're going to show you how much you won. Okay, so, next one for us, please.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm getting all excited. All right, go ahead.
I'm putting an actual link in here now. I would like everybody to click on this link. If you want to bring that one up for us, Corey.
Yep.
We're
Correct.
going to talk about password generators. Not managers yet, but generators. How do we get better passwords as opposed to us coming up with this stuff all the time, especially when that website, for let's say a bank or something like that, wants that password right now or it's going to time out on you. So how do we do something like that? Here's a website. Please bookmark this. And the first part is pretty easy. You can play with it as I go through it. You can click to generate, and there's a blue generation button down there, and you can add your other variables, which says capitalize the first letter or add a digit. You can add a separator symbol instead of a hyphen. If you see the yellow bar as you're making these decisions, do you see how many bits of data? Okay, that is where, even though you're only going with 4 words, This is what changes. And if you, Corey, if you zoom out and scroll down for us, and for those who love teaching math, this site explains the whole theory behind it based on math. All in all, it comes down to randomness, mathematical randomness, and you're still covering numbers, special characters, capitals, small letters. But now you're starting to dealing with 13, 15, 20 very easily. You just copy and paste. You're like, well, how do I save all that? And I'm getting to that. But I just want to scroll down just a little bit more as well. And there's also, keep going, there's also an argument back and forth that you can read. So if you love math, you can go through it, and there's some more resources to really dig deeper if you're really interested in this, if you're teaching, let's say, high-level computer science or something like that. It's not perfect, but this is where you can get going. And there's other strategies out there, but there's other ones that we can get to, but this is a starting point. Okay, so please play with this, but the effectiveness, again, is based on randomness. When people use words like this, they started putting, like, for instance, great-grandma's name with a middle name that they can remember. It's not, that does not work. Okay, so far so good. Before I move on to the next section here. Okay, I'm going to give you one more tool. Please bookmark these. One more tool that'll help you as well, which is the second picture you're looking at here. Please click on it. This is a free resource. You don't have to buy the product to use this, but there's a reason I'm showing you. And Corey, if you click on random password for me in the dark box.
So not this one.
No, that one's fine. No, that's fine. To the
Okay.
left.
Oh, in the dark, random password. Sorry, I'm getting
It's okay. Memorable for us. A little bit lower.
memorable. Got it.
Now, do you see same concept? Okay, so if you click change the length for us, add a capitalization like you're doing earlier. You can do the length of 3 words, 8 words. If you want more, because you want more, you can. Okay, so I'm letting you know, but these are more secure passwords. Can you make random ones? If you hold down memorable password and go to random, you can do the same thing and make something like this if that is your preference. Computers can crack a lot of this stuff fast, like I was showing you earlier. Yes, the entire words are the password. Okay, I can get deeper into it, but for today's thing, the fact is how these particular cracking applications out there that are used, okay, is again based on word lists and dictionaries. I'll be brief, but dictionaries around the world. But if you add randomness to it, they're not compound words that are found in dictionaries. So that's the way they're fighting the computer algorithms right now. Yes, I am, Kim. I'm coming right around corner. Okay. So next slide for us, Corey. So we're going to talk about password managers. There's a bunch out there. Some are free for single users. Some you buy family packs. Some run on everything from your phone to your computer. Some are more like open source. Some are a little bit more techie. It's up to what you want, but find something. So I'm going to just show 2 today. And the first one is called, you already there for a generator, onepassword.com. So if you go there, onepassword with a number 1.com. And I'm not selling anything to you. I'm just giving you examples that are very popular and actually most secure. Some other ones have been already cracked. Okay, so this one runs all over the place. This runs on everything pretty much out there you can come up with. Okay, and it's also can be used online. Why is that important? Okay, not everything is bulletproof, but I will say you, if you're on a computer, a lot of you might be saving all your stuff in your browser, such as I'm going to pick on Chrome. Okay, Google Chrome, and you save everything through there. If your particular user account on your computer goes bad, corrupt, crashes, everything, you lose it all. Where is it saving? Does it sync everything? Do you really want Google syncing all of your personal information and privacy and your passwords? You need to ask yourself these questions. Microsoft is using a new Edge. Some of you still use Internet Explorer. So, but again, if the account goes bad, you have nowhere else to get it. So password management comes up. And a lot of these tools, okay, have things you can add secure notes. You can put a lot of other stuff in there as well. Now, specifically, if you want to show Dashlane really quick, Corey, that'd be wonderful. Absolutely.
I'm engaged so much here. It's hard for me to keep track. So thank you. And Kim, I noticed that you said you'll be sharing this information with Madison. I'm so excited that the district will get this
That's
great
awesome.
information, but send them to our YouTube channel as well. And then you don't have to, your job's easier. Go ahead, Joe. Dashlane.
Dashlane is another very, very popular one, been around for a long time. Those are my top two favorites. There's other ones that are free. So if you did a search, some cost more than others, but I prefer just me, a family pack. That way I have multiple devices. 1Password or Dashlane works on your phone, works on your computers. If you had one Windows, one Mac, it crossed the board. And it lets you secure it, and it can get more secure as you go along. You can use devices such as 2FA or YubiKeys, a little bit more advanced, but the thing is you can use all of that as well with these applications. So very, very important. Okay, so let's see here, making sure. So in that case, any questions real quick before I move around? And by the way, all these applications have incredible tutorials, easy to follow. Okay, and their actual help, customer help is really, really good. And again, there's other ones. LastPass is very popular out there. Google has stuff. So it's up to you what you like, but do your research and just read. Now, everybody has a lot of time to do all that, but they've made shorter videos these days just to get you hooked. But one thing I want to point out, though, is if you go back to 1password.com, I want to share this with you, okay? Uses the website the toolbox we gave you today, Have I Been Pwned? So if you're using a bad password or password's been breached and stuff like that, 1password.com will actually let you know based on that same site if you've been breached inside there and try to suggest to you what you should do about it. So I would like us now to visit this.
So Joe, hang on. You asked for some questions, and I have a quick question for you. And I want everybody to think about those questions and feel free to pop those in the chat. If you would like to ask a question, let us know. If you want me to, if you want to unmute and ask the question, that's fine too. But we're going to have a Q&A at the very end. So we're going to get through some information and then and have a Q&A. So put your questions in the chat and we'll definitely get to them. If we don't get to them right now, we'll get to them in the Q&A towards the end. And I can't remember my question, so keep going, Joe.
Oh, okay. If it comes up, just buzz me. Okay, so I'd like everybody to go return to Have I Been Pwned/passwords, or go there and click on the passwords word. If you scroll up just a little bit on that website, Corey,
Okay.
there's passwords word.
Passwords up here?
Yes, that one. Yes.
It's up here, guys. This is where we're going. All right.
Or you can click on the link I put in the Zoom. Now, before anybody puts a password in, please listen to me first. We don't put present or live passwords or passwords you are using into a third-party website.
Wait, say it again.
I'm saying it again. Even though it looks inviting to put a password to see if you're secure, do not put active passwords into a third-party website. I don't care if they're fantastic. I don't care if it's run by Apple. I don't care if it's run by Microsoft. Don't put it in there. Remember, when you have to reset an iCloud account or a Windows account, okay, it asks you all those security questions because they will not give you your password. You have to learn how to reset your password. There's reasons behind that. So in this case, though, okay, I know Corey was going to give us an older password she might want to use, and you can put your older passwords in there. So if you want to go ahead and try, go for it, just not a new one.
Okay, all right. I have so many passwords. This is a hard one. Okay, here we go.
Oh,
Ooh.
excellent. How many of you out there are red and how many of you out there are green? Real quick in the chat box.
Of course, I was red earlier, Joe, so I don't know if that's good or bad.
Well, I have one more we're gonna do two more after this. I just want to give
Kirsten
people a
says she's
chance.
green too. Go, Kirsten. Woohoo!
All right, Kirsten, green. I am loving it. Teachers are green.
Do you want me to add my husband's password? If only I knew it. I can't remember.
As everybody's doing this and checking it out, I would like, after you get your green or red, if you have already, is please type in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to come around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right, I'm popping that into the.
And see if you won the lottery.
Woo!
How many times have people used this password?
Oh my goodness, people.
Okay, and by the way, their database is updated probably every quarter, sometimes every 5 months. 23.5 million plus. People use bad passwords, period. How many teachers, you don't have to admit it, how many teachers leave Post-it notes with passwords around their computer screen or their desk? Okay,
Wow.
where students sort of come over the shoulder, it's called. So we have to make sure our password, we can't always get mad when we have to change the password. We have to get used to it. Actually, if you would now, please type in password. For those who see Marvel with Happy or Spider-Man, what's your password? Password. For those who've seen the big character, Tony Stark's person, almost 4 million. I have one
Wow.
more, just for the, now I'll be almost finished, one more. If you type it in, Corey, if you just delete that, hold the shift key down and type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with the shift key down. So it's a bunch of, a bunch of special characters. Go ahead.
Oh my gosh.
People use bad passwords all of the time.
But look how much that's
Yeah.
a lot less than in the millions. So that's
Sure.
fascinating.
But that's also because it's less convenient, which means we have to note another key down as we type, right?
Oh,
Somebody actually typed in password with a capital P. Would you mind putting that in? Yes, thank you, Kim. Very, very good point. People use one password for everything. So please, it's an excellent point. Please diverse your passwords. Use a manager to help you along. We do not use the same password to go to a bank, another bank, or a loan or mortgage, car payments, anything that has compliance from FERPA as an educator. HIPAA is your health. You want privacy, but you got to practice to help. So these are the areas here. So this is what I wanted to share with you today relative to some tools without trying to do too much. Can you use this in your classroom? Yes, it's just about the password one. I wouldn't share right away until maybe some more mature students, because again, we don't want people putting in their live passwords or real active passwords inside here. No, I don't think the website's going to take anything from you, but in a classroom environment, okay, where you have the same browsers used by multiple students and multiple people, the fact is all those cookies, all those temporary files inside those browsers stay there until the district says clean everything, or you go through a hard, a restart and stuff like that. So we don't want that. So that's what
fascinating.
yeah, as a demo. I would use it as a demo. Fantastic. But on your own, to help yourself, and again, onepassword.com is one actual product that uses this resource inside its application to tell you. So you don't have to necessarily go to this website. You can just use that password manager, and then you start keeping everything. I mean, you start collecting everything. You start realizing, wow, I haven't changed that password in 10, 15 years.
Great information, guys. Put your questions in the chat if you have any questions. Oh, wait.
Nope, I'm finished for mine. We'll answer questions, as Corey says.
Is there anything else? So I heard you say something really powerful, Joe. You said something along the lines of, we want our data to be safe, but we have to practice keeping safe data. So I think that was really key for those of us who are instructors in front of other teachers and in front of other students. So those of you who work with teachers in professional development, let them know that their students are watching their habits. So that's really, really fascinating. Thank you.
Yes.
And we will definitely have some more time for Q&A as well. We just want to let you know that we have some really great programs here at Grand Canyon University to help you help your students. And this one is absolutely free. Dr. Ferris, tell us more about this incredible opportunity for teachers.
Hello again, everyone. Yes, coming up next summer, we are going to offer a GenCyber camp for teachers. As Corey said, it's a free camp. It'll be on the GCU campus. There's perks such as free course material, a Raspberry Pi. You will receive a stipend for attending. And basically, we're going to enhance your cybersecurity awareness so that you have material to teach your students. It'll be taught by myself along with other GCU faculty members. And if you go to the GenCyber site and open up the Arizona portion of it, basically there's a method for you to apply today. So please do that. I mean, you just need to expand Arizona, and it's under Phoenix. And basically you can read through the information about the site, how we put it together, what is the GenCyber program. Remember, this is a national program. Basically, most of the states are covered by this program. So just read through that. And yes, you will be actually paid to go. So it's free and you actually get paid and you get material from it. So if you scroll down to the bottom of that that web page, there's an application form. So, and there's a cap. We're obviously offering all these perks. There's probably going to be high interest. So we're going to have a cap of 40 teachers. So the sooner you apply, the better.
Hey, Dr. Ferris, there's a good question that came in the chat. Is this open to non-US teachers too? We have someone visiting from Kuwait right now.
That is a good question. I
don't think
I
so,
don't
unfortunately.
think so.
I don't think so. I'm so sorry, because it's funded by the US government.
That is correct.
Well, they are a US teacher teaching at
Oh,
a
maybe.
school in Kuwait. Yeah.
Then if you want to, we can certainly take your email, or you can,
Yes.
pop in your application with your email, and then we could kind of get back to you with an answer there.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. All right, so if there's any other questions, please feel free to ask them now, or you can also send me information, or if you're curious about the GenCyber camp, you can send me some queries as well. But I would definitely prompt you or ask you to apply quickly, because obviously we're expecting it to fill up pretty quick.
Absolutely. Anything that's free like this will definitely fill up quick. And it's not just free, folks. You're going to get paid to be here. This is how serious we are about cybersecurity and making sure that K12 educators are educated in this area. And folks, you do not need to be a technology teacher, correct, Dr. Ferris?
That is correct.
How about that? So you could be the speech and debate teacher and take this course and have your students debating about cybersecurity awareness topics and go win the prize for that. So thank you so much, Dr. Ferris, for that opportunity. Yeah, wouldn't that be fun?
That would be fun.
Free stuff. We also have, speaking of free, we have a free offer here, Dr. Ferris, or Dr. Kendrick, Professor Kendrick. Would either one of you like to talk about Dr. Monty's free offer?
Go ahead, Chet. You can take the stage.
I'm not a doctor yet. I'm working on it, and one day you'll be able to say that without me just shaking my head at you.
Well, it'll be difficult.
I think Dr. Monty's here.
Yeah, Heather is here.
Dr. Monty to speak about it.
I'm sorry, I didn't know if she was just coming in and leaving. So Dr. Monty, turn on that video unless you would like Professor Kendrick to talk on your behalf.
No, that's fine. So I wanted to make available my book. I have a book called The Beginner's Guide to Developing a High School Cybersecurity Program. So this is just everything that I would tell a high school teacher, technology coach, principal, school counselor, if you're homeschool family or parent who's just really wanting to help kids learn more about cybersecurity from two different perspectives. One might be helping them learn how to be safe and act safely in the cyber world and protect themselves. But then there's also students that might be interested in cybersecurity as a career. So there's a lot of really great resources in here, a lot of good research. I pulled some information from the research literature that's out there about how to teach cybersecurity. And so what I want to do is make it available to you guys for free. There should be a link. I don't know where the link is. Corey.
Yeah, there is a link. And Dr. Monty, if you have, I mean, feel free to unveil your camera and let people see who you are if you are so inclined.
I wasn't prepared to be on video right now. Sorry.
I love this. You cybersecurity people, you're like, you're sleek. And it's exactly. So
yes,
I should
very
not
stealthy.
say.
So yeah, so you can download the book. The coupon code is for 100% off. It expires tomorrow. So you want to make sure that you grab it today. The book is due for an update. I wrote it last year already, so it's due for an update. So when you purchase it, you get on my email list, and then as soon as an update comes out, I let everybody know and make sure you get it.
And you can see there that Amanda has left the coupon code there in the chat, so feel free to grab that. And Dr. Monty, you see what it's like to be put on spot? Next time you'll just say, okay, Professor Kendrick, you go
Yes,
for
no,
it.
I have a dog sitting around my neck right now, like we're comfy on the couch.
Awesome. That's okay, kids. If you want to be a cybersecurity expert, this is the kind of lifestyle you get to lead. I love it. I love it. Thank you, Dr. Monty, for coming on, and thank you even more for allowing our K12ers to have a free copy of this book. That is, guys, you should tell your administrators right now, go get this book. So thank you so much. So Stephen Faulkner, GC. Oh,
Yes.
Joe, you're going to do this one, or Stephen? So Joe and Stephen are going to work on these two next free opportunities. Go ahead, Joe.
Actually,
All right. I know she said Joe, but she meant me.
That's what I
So
sorry.
So as you can see, the presentation that Joe gave was very informative, and it made you want to learn more. Well, we do the same thing for your students. So your students can come in and have a live lesson virtually, right? We're doing everything virtually right now. So if they want to learn about network forensics, or if they want to learn about password cracking, we can walk them through a step-by-step kind of tutorial and get them excited about cybersecurity. If you don't feel comfortable with teaching cybersecurity to your students, we can definitely be that extension for you. And then later on, once all of this COVID clears up and we're back in our classrooms, then you can bring them down to the cyber range, and we can extend that offering not only for the cyber lessons that we're doing virtually, but we can also add our wireless hacking, and we can also add on some ways that we can do. It's called OSINT, which is open source intelligence, kind of how you find people on the internet. And then we also have, Corey, if you want to go to our next slide, it's the Cyber Saturdays.
Yeah.
And our Cyber Saturdays.
Hold on just a second. This one is the live lessons. I just want to make sure that you covered that as well.
Okay. So our live lessons are the lessons that we, those are right now, they're virtually. And our live lessons, if you want to sign up for any of those, you can click on the link as Corey is doing. And you would have to go down to engineering and technology, and then it will allow you to choose a date that you can join.
Okay, and then we have Cyber Saturdays.
So our Cyber Saturdays, yes. Our Cyber Saturdays are basically a time when we have students come in. It's not really the hour. We're not constricted to just an hour, but it's a couple of hours where things are a much slower or faster depending on the audience, and we answer all kinds of questions. We have our faculty that come, and they are participating in those Cyber Saturdays, answering questions. If you have students that are interested or may even be thinking about coming to GCU, or what an experience at GCU is like, we have them covered on every avenue.
Okay, and Stephen, Discord, tell us about that.
So our Discord is basically what we use to communicate everything that's going on with the cyber range. So if you could take that Discord and, oh, thank you for pulling it up. We have everything in there from projects that we're doing. We have all of our Cyber Saturdays. If you want to look at any of the notes that were given for any of the previous Cyber Saturdays that we have done. And Joe just reminded me, thank you, on this coming up Saturday, we do have a Cyber Saturday that will be from 10 to 12. If you want to come in at 9:30, we actually start our pre-chat, and it kind of just allows the students to come in, or professors to come in and kind of get a feel for the lesson that we're getting ready to present. And then we, for the next couple of hours, we'll just be having fun, just digging a little deeper into what you all have learned today.
And Stephen, you said it well. We just start having fun. So
Yeah.
let your students know. I mean, Stephen's the one, he has so much fun when I work with him, and Wi-Fi cracking. It's like it's so fun, and he's so knowledgeable, and the kids don't even realize they're learning something so important until the end, when they realize. It
Right.
is the most engaging I've seen students with Stephen. So thank you so much. Stephen and Joe are phenomenal instructors. I just can't say enough about it. So I know, but I have to say enough because we have to keep going, don't we? One other thing I wanted y'all to be aware of is that the K12, the NICE, National Institute for Cybersecurity Education for K12 teachers and students. This is a virtual conference. It's going to be in December. Dr. Monty and her sidekick Corey will have a presentation there. So we can't wait to see you there. If you can register for that, talk to your district and see if they'll foot the bill for you to go to this nice K12 virtual conference. This is just a sneak peek at the agenda, and you can see a little bit of what they'll be, kind of producing here for you in the conference. I think, not Sunday, let me try Saturday, Monday, something cool. So they've got these birds of the feather session, and they've got some really neat exhibitors coming. So this is just really quick, but you can kind of see they've got some keynotes, etc. And then there's there's a discount for students right now. Folks, it's free student tickets until the 22nd of September. So we'll get all those links. They're all going to be in the show notes. Please don't forget about the virtual K12 NICE conference. Whoops, that's my own computer. Okay, so hopefully you were able, let's see, did you learn a little bit about password management? Let's see, we even added another shing in there, right? Phishing, smishing, and vishing. Join only known networks. We hope that at least those three elements are more familiar to you now than they were 45 minutes ago. And we hope that you understand the value and importance of cybersecurity for K12 educators, the why, the where do I start, and just the concept of cyber awareness. And we're kind of closing towards the end of our presentation here, but a couple more things wanted to just run by you. Number one, join us again next time, September 23rd, a new time, same place, same link, 12 to 1 p.m. It's going to be project management through gamification. Dr. Monty is involved in this project as well. You're going to love it. So check that out. Also, transitioning in person to online on the 28th. And while I'm looking at this, I'd love to see what tool you thought was the best tool for today. So you're all tool masters today. See that toolbox down there is reminding me as I complete telling you all of this. Tell us what tool you like the best in the chat, if you don't mind. Pop your tool of choice in the chat. Was it, have I been pwned? I don't know. What's your favorite tool? Go ahead and pop that into the chat for us. We'd love to hear you tool masters letting us know what you liked about today's presentation. Thank you, Deborah and Marnie and Kim. Awesome. And isn't that cool? All three kind of different. So join us on December 2nd for small group instruction with primary students. So if you have elementary school students in your purview, definitely join us December 2nd. And then January 13th, well, everybody needs to come to that because it's all about teacher self-care. We will make sure to keep you reminded of these webinars. Archive versions are at our YouTube channel, just so that you know that. There's more cybersecurity tips at that YouTube channel, including a video on cipher wheels. So don't forget, it's out there. That's done by our GCU STEM student, Sierra. So we don't want you to leave knowing we don't want you to leave without knowing why we're here. We want to empower, educate, and inspire you all, our community, so that you take action to fulfill your purpose and to serve one another. Teachers, definitely get that application in for the summer camp sponsored by GenCyber. It's going to be great. Folks, I am really blessed here to have Stephen. He's going to take us through our closing prayer. For those of you who can stick around, definitely stick around because we've got Professor Kendrick and Professor Ferris who will join us for Q&A the last 10 minutes. But Stephen's going to close us out with our prayer. So let's go ahead and give him, I'm sure Amanda's got she'll go ahead and put the link in. So she'll put the link in there, and we can't wait to see you all at the conference, the K12 NICE conference, the GenCyber summer camp, this Cyber Saturdays, in the Discord channel. I don't know, right, Stephen, if it's going to be hard pressed for them to find something they can't do after
Right.
this particular
Right.
event. So thank you all very, very much for being here. And we are going to close in prayer, but stick around because we'll stick around for questions and answers. So Stephen, take it away.
Okay. Father God, we thank you for this time that you've allowed us to come together just to learn and be like sponges and soak up more information on how to keep ourselves safe. We thank you because you are the ultimate protector, and we thank you for how you keep us safe from the enemy and keep our lives covered and protected through your blood and through the Son, your Son, Jesus. God, we even pray even now that whatever we do it for your glory. So as the teachers are going to their several classrooms and they're teaching their students, Lord, we ask that you give them to teach with clarity and to teach with understanding, Lord, so that the students will be able to protect themselves and their families and their communities from the threats that are out there lurking. And God, we thank you for all things because we know that you do all things well. And we thank you for all things. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Stephen. That was beautiful. And we still have some time, folks. I don't think I've ever had the full 10 minutes, but I wanted to make sure we had the full 10 minutes because y'all have some amazing experts right here with you today to talk about cybersecurity. So this is the open mic time where we encourage you to unmute your video and your audio and ask away. This is a great time to ask some questions. And Christine, let's see, we start. Thank you, Kim. Thanks for all of you. You asked a lot of questions early, so I appreciate that very much. Listen to this, guys. One of the best webinars I've ever participated in. Bravo.
Awesome.
I'm going to invite y'all more often. Kim, thank you so much. And if you know anything about Kim Thomas, she goes to a lot of webinars. So that is actually a huge compliment. Thank you, Kim, and have a great day in class. Or learning like a sponge. Christine, I was about 10 minutes late to this webinar. Will this be on YouTube later so I can watch the first 10 minutes? Absolutely, Christine. And right now, you can ask a question of any of these professors, these cyber professors. And, you know, if y'all don't start asking questions, you know, I'm going to ask questions. So feel free. This is open mic time.
Sounds like one of my classes.
No,
Come on.
your
ask the
classes are
question.
very fun, Mr. Ferris. Very, very, very talkative classes.
Oh, Stephen, you made them fun with all of your questions, right?
And you can also ask a question for a friend. I do that sometimes, right? Because I don't necessarily want you to think it's my question because, you know, go ahead, Marty.
All right, as the local cheapskate, I was looking at the sites that had the password, the ones that save the passwords for you, and they do have a cost. They were very low cost, but they still cost money. Do you know of any ones that are free that you would recommend, or no, if it's free, probably avoid it?
Dashlane has a free version for a single user.
Okay, great, thank you.
But there's a bunch out there that are free. If you just do a quick Google search for the 20 top password managers in 2020, there's a bunch of articles. It really comes down to what you read and what you're looking to do and what you want to try out. Most of them have free, at least for a month or so, out there as well. But there are free ones. I know KeyPass, I think LastPass has a free single user, Dashlane a free single user. So something to keep in mind. Just most people have multiple devices, and that's usually what you end up paying for.
Yeah, I definitely do. What about the risk of using a password manager but getting pwned by a fake password manager? Like, you know what I mean? Like you say you're going to use it, but it's a fake one, or am I just going way too deep on that?
Right now, I believe that if you stick to the top 4 or 5 brands, you should be in good shape.
Okay, thank you.
And I've got some questions now in the chat. Thank you, Marty, for starting us off. I've got one question. What's the best way to reach out to high school students to get the word out about the student opportunities? Or is that more of a question for me? Could be
That's
me.
a question for you, Corey.
Okay, so that's a question for me. You know what I would say, Jennifer, is I will, I will communicate with my high school networks, but I think to get the word out about the K12 virtual conference would be really great. So, you know what, K12 development, Jennifer Johnson, you might be one person to move this out, but I'm wondering if you guys in GC, like Joe and Steve, like how do you guys get your word out? Like about Cyber Saturdays, etc. Do you have any networks, maybe a PLN, Twitter, hashtag, any of that stuff?
Well, we
Or is
work
that
with
like,
enrollment such as Casey. Casey's a big one for us with enrollment.
That's
We
right, is
reach out
Casey
to
on?
different groups for trad and non-trad. And then we just push through Discord, we push through LinkedIn, and then other people's networks and word of mouth for the school to keep coming to visit us.
Okay, so word of mouth here, you guys heard it here first. Plus, Marty put out, reach out to canyonprofdev@gcu.edu for any K12 questions. I probably should have known to ask that question, but maybe I thought, you know. The other question had to do with replicating this webinar for parents in a parent-friendly version. So do you guys do anything for parents of students in the K12 arena, or would you be willing to?
So if you look at the information that we give on Saturdays, that's open to students and it's open to parents. We've had parents come in and they kind of sit back and they don't really say too much, but by the time we're done with the presentation, the parents are the ones that are helping the students, literally. So it's for everyone. And we've also had people who, or I should say, we've had those who are in the, who are already in the job arena, then they want to change careers and they come in and they look at a lot of our presentations, and this is kind of a to help initialize that endeavor that they want to change into.
That's a really good point. Why not go along with your student, with your child, come
Yes.
along into the Cyber Saturday workshops? That's a great point.
Joe.
Let's see, Professor Kendrick, would you recommend any curriculum programs for middle school computer classes, workbooks or downloads to teaching?
Middle school is a difficult group. Most of the NICE and most of the schools are concentrating on high schools right now. They're not really concentrating on middle schools or elementary schools. What few I've seen for elementary schools are very, very, very basic, almost to the point of password, and it's going to be boring for middle schoolers. At the same time, high schooler classes are so complex that most parents are afraid that students will take what they learned in high school and not be mature enough to handle it. So unfortunately, no, I don't have anything for middle schoolers. It is something that I am investigating and trying to work with, but we're having a difficult time enough with the high schools right now. I don't think we're ready to nail the middle schools. Dwight may have something different than what I've got. He's been around a little bit longer.
No, it's you've pretty much covered it all. For the middle schoolers, as you stated, it's just a tricky age group, tricky as far as their education. So generally, the curriculum out there sticks with the basics still until they get to the high school level. So it is a tricky age group as far as cyber. So
the only one I can think of would be Cyber Patriots, and I believe they require 13 years of old.
Right.
So you might be able to sneak into Cyber Patriots at that age group, but that's really dependent on it. However, I know Cyber Patriots is constantly looking for more people to throw in there. You just have to find it, and they provide free curriculum and everything. So
yeah,
Cyber Patriots is where I would throw you.
Yeah, but Cyber Patriots is still focused mostly on high school. It really has advanced material for the high school age, and that's where it gets tricky. So yeah.
I need to throw in my educator 2 cents. I'm a high school science teacher forever, but know that elementary and middle school is where all of our effort needs to be, because that's where scientific thinking is really formed. And that's where all of us need to be pushing that this kind of instruction needs to be at the elementary and middle school level. I know it's hard. I know it's really hard to change people's minds. And I like the first statement someone said, middle school is tough in more ways than one. But if they don't start to learn and we don't start to trust them to make those mistakes, then they're just going to make bigger mistakes later. And I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but
I would actually point out that from a cybersecurity stance, I wouldn't do anything with cybersecurity in middle school if it was me. I would concentrate on IT, because a lot of people don't realize you have to have that IT background before you can move in towards cybersecurity. And there's nothing wrong with teaching elementary and middle schoolers IT practices and principles, and you can go pretty in depth in that, and you'll be amazed of how much of that information that they don't even realize is part of cybersecurity is part of cybersecurity until they've started learning it. So I mean, you've got to learn ports and protocols, how ARP works, what a DNS is, how a firewall is configured. Those are all things that are part of IT that really people don't think about, that are also part of cybersecurity. And so if you can get them into an IT class in the middle school, that's the best route to go. But I got to be honest with you, I would still feel hesitant to put true cybersecurity in a middle school environment. But that's me.
And that's, I like to reflect that as well, because that's my thinking. We want to stick to those basic principles, because if we do not, if we try to force them to learn some of these cybersecurity principles, it will be lost at that age. So definitely basic IT, basic networking is absolutely crucial before we start to teach them what cybersecurity is.
Most I've seen through my experience of teaching in high school and even going down to middle school at times is the only programs, in generally speaking, between Southern Cal and Arizona over here was through CTE. And again, those are very much basics. And if a school doesn't have funding for CTE, or it's just not a big part of the program, they got nothing.
And my speaking up is, I think, evidence also too of a non-cyber teacher conflating IT versus cybersecurity,
right?
And just realizing even those elementary and middle school teachers aren't teaching any,
Agreed,
internet safety really at all. Like it's just not happening because it's too scary. We can't let the students see any of that, but they have to.
Yeah.
Even though they're right now, when they're
great.
young, they're pressing buttons on their iDevices left and right.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely fascinating discussion. I always learn when I'm with y'all, and I just want to share the results. I know that we don't have many people left, but this is really more for you all as the university professors. We have lots of educators here, and then I wanted to go to number 3, where it says, do you feel adequately prepared to teach cybersecurity? Overwhelmingly, no, 69% versus 31%. Do you have the skills? Yeah, I mean, the yes is a little bit over the no on that one. And then in the very last one, I wanted to see number 7. Do you believe your classrooms have the adequate equipment to teach cybersecurity? Overwhelmingly, no. So those of you who are helping in this arena, just to draw your attention to number 9, do virtual webinars like this help to fill those gaps in knowledge? I think 100% gives you the idea of yes. So I want to just thank everyone who's still here, but most importantly, I want to thank you all, because this really information was for you more than it was for our K-12 educators, so that we know how we can better serve our K-12 community. Thank you guys so much for being here.